What's up guys, Woody here, back from another Mythgard video, and it's a little bit of a different one this time because it's not a set new to Mythgard video, it's not a deck video, it's more of a kind of fun video I suppose, and an opinion video, and one that you're probably definitely going to disagree with on some fronts, and that is going to be my personal 10 underrated cards in Mythgard. Okay, so we're going to be doing 10 underrated and 10 overrated over the next two videos. Now I will say that I was deck teching with Semper EU last night, fellow TRS teammate, and my list was slightly altered based on conversations with Semper, because there are two cards on this list that I have hardly played, but when they've played against me they seem pretty super strong, and especially when I play against Semper they seem pretty super strong, and he backed up and said no, these cards need to go on the list. They are unsung heroes in some decks. So, yeah, so if there's one card in particular I don't actually own, so I don't want you to go, well, how can it be underrated if you've never played it, you idiot? So that's where that's come from. But anyway, let's keep this one a little bit shorter if we can, because it's a little bit of fun, you know? So, like I said, today we're looking at 10 underrated cards in Mythgard. Now, full disclosure here, there's no blues. Oh, wow, that went... Why is it doing that? I'm literally going from top to bottom in an instant. But full disclosure here, no blues feature in this list. Blues are in a really funny state, I find, at the moment. I feel like people are kind of falling off blues, and blues are blues are either pretty good as a support card, I believe, unless you're running like a Valks Moralist or anything like that. But I don't think there's anything in blues that people are playing that I'm like, or people that aren't playing that I'm like, wow, you need to play this card. So that's kind of where blues have just faded off it. But we do have some yellows, so we're going to go straight into some yellows for you guys here. And the first one that I think is underrated is Be Many Fools. Be Many Fools, guys, is a very, very good enchantment that can really get insane value on the long round. So Occupy Minion has regen 2, but when a minion is created in its lane, gain 2 life. In a long game against yellow, when just the fact that you have regen is big enough already. Okay, let's go from a small example like a Yahui, which isn't getting played tons at the moment, but Yahui can only take 2 damage per turn. Now, yeah, 2 minions could trade into them to remove Yahui, but anyway, Yahui takes 2 damage per turn. He takes damage, you swing attack, he then regens. Like, it's just like, it's pretty solid on that point alone. But when a minion is created in this lane, gain 2 life. What? This is 2-drop single gem enchantment. If you create 5 minions in this lane over the course of a long game, this has got you 10 life and potentially regen between 4 to 6 life, potentially, like a minion life. This is huge, guys. I don't see this card played much at all in yellow decks, and I always wonder why. When Semper plays it against me, it's always taken the regen into consideration. It is one aspect, but always the gaining of the life. Can combine this with something like Wonder Drug. If he ever plays yellow purple and he's got Peach of Life as well, some of that is just like, oh my god, I cannot kill this guy. And the idea of like a yellow deck like stalling you out and going for that long game, that really dragging the game out, this like, but Many Fools just falls into it so well, and it's such a good enchantment. It's not completely underrated in terms of people are still playing it. It's not completely slept on, but I don't think it's played enough. I think this is one of the best enchantments in yellow. I'd probably say this is yellow's best enchantment in my opinion. And again, anyone disagrees with these, please jump in chat below. Sorry, in comments below, and let me know. But Many Fools is my first. Going on to the next one it's a bit more of a situational card because it depends on the deck you're playing. But Gem Cutter Spider, guys, this card, if you're playing tricolour and yellow's in your deck, this is all to include, okay? Sorry, I have a cold at the moment. 3 mana, 2 yellow gems. He comes out as 6/6. You can get this guy out. It's hard to get out on turn 3. Well, you can't get him out on turn 3 for a 6/6 because you don't have if you're playing tricolour. Even in some Druid, like a 4/4 coming out on turn 3 is pretty good. It's like an I-free without the conditions of I-free. Serendipity I-free has you take 1 damage. You don't take 1 damage off Gem Cutter Spider. You're getting a 4/4 on the board on turn 3, which is pretty crazy, okay? Turn 4 with a tricolour deck, you're potentially getting a 6/6 on the board. Some people look at this card and go, oh, I must play quad colour. No, you don't need it as an 8-8. Even as a 4-4, it is an I3. It doesn't have the divination, but it still has the 4-4 body. It's a pretty big body to deal with on turn 3. If you're playing tricolour, as a 6-6, turn 4, maybe turn 5, it's still a big unit to deal with. I think this card is way too slept on. I think if you... I've included it in some duo card decks, 2-card decks, and I'm fine with including it. I think it's absolutely fine. I think it's a good card to include. It's not so much of an auto include. If I'm playing tricolour with yellow, this card is like one of the first ones I put in the deck. It's really, really solid. I would say it's too slept on, in my opinion. And the final yellow card we're looking at, sorry, my nose has really started blocking up since I started recording this video, which is kind of annoying. The final card we're looking at, a yellow, comes down here, is... Now, I have not played this card much at all, okay? God's Bane Transport. I've not played this card hardly at all. Now, this was come from a recommendation of Sempar, and apparently Tunestar is also a big advocate of this card. Now, adjacent soldier minions have armor 2, pretty solid. Okay, you create, for 2 mana, you create a 2-2 Magpie Commando with piercing in unoccupied adjacent lanes. So, effectively, it can be both lanes. Now, the reason this is super strong is, again, it's that yellow stalling people out. You can play 2 of these in your deck, so you've got a chance you're going to find one at least in a game. Now, stalling people out, basically meaning you're playing these guys with armor. Yes, if you're playing against yellow, the concern is people go, oh, well, they just misanthropia, it removes God's Bane Transport. Yes, but this has 10 life, so God's Bane Transport stays around potentially for 3 turns if they don't trade into it. You can still pop the command abilities, and these guys don't come out with Blight on them. So you're just blocking the board and blocking the board and blocking the board and blocking the board. It's that whole stalling out. You're forcing your player to play for their cards, play for their hand, burn their hand out, stalling them out. You're playing that long game. Now again, I can't sit here and say, oh my god, this card is nuts. But I can say that I've played against Semper, who's played this card a lot, and it is nuts. Like, playing it, I don't know, but playing against it, it can get infuriating, and I hardly ever see it. When Semper first played, I was like, what's he playing this for? And then I'm like, I can't find a way through. I cannot find a way through. Another play he done once was he played it, he popped them there. I couldn't remove him because the armor 2 was kind of really irritating. He then moved them over and popped it again. So now he pretty much had 5 lanes blocked. And I was like, oh my god. I was playing green and I needed to find an IQ or I needed to find a short stack. Otherwise I was just blocked out. I was now dependent on card draw, which is kind of what yellow wants to do. It wants to control your deck. It wants to dictate what you can do. And this kind of falls into that really, really nicely. But anyway, that is our number 3 underrated card. Now moving on to some red. We only have 1 red card for you. I was on an iron about a couple. But the only red card I kind of settled on, which I feel like people don't play enough, is Shopwallball. Shopwallball is a free cost or free mana, 2 red gem, rare card, where his passive ability, so you can play the ability and swing at the same time, is draw a card, then pick one of your cards to reshuffle back in your deck. Now people will go, yeah, but this isn't card draw. No, but it's consistency. And that is huge in so many games. This allows you to find cards you want to, or allows you to not thin your deck, but cycle through your deck. Okay, I played this a lot in a green-red mid-range, and this card I swear by. This card is so good. In rush decks, maybe not. Okay, it's too slow. You're playing this on turn 3 when you could be playing something like a Wyvern, you could be playing a Panic Raider. It's not going to work in a rush deck. If you're playing anything that's slightly more mid-range or slightly longer game, red, so like red-orange or red-green, like I said, maybe like red-yellow, which is I've seen slowly becoming a bit of a thing. This card is, I would argue, it's almost auto-include because it's the consistency it gives you with finding cards that you want and you need is massive. Shopwallball is definitely, in my opinion, one of the most underrated cards in the game of Mythgard. But that's the only red we have. Moving on to orange, I believe, is next card. No, green. Oh, actually, we don't have any green. Green's another one where I didn't put any green in, and I checked with Sempar and was like, look, I haven't got any green there. I love green. I'm a big advocate of green. Green is my favourite faction, favourite colour. But I feel like green is either just good cards that everyone will play, or bad cards that no one will play. Not bad cards. Cards that just don't synergize. I don't like using the word bad cards because a lot of in card games, so many cards just don't have their full potential maybe realised until later expansions. I kind of hope that's the case with some green cards. I'm going to give an honourable mention here because not to wind Semper up, but I'm going to give an honourable mention to Hydra. Now, this card by no means is bonkers. I will wind Semper up and say this card is nuts, this card is OP, this card wins me game. I love Hydra. Hydra is one of my favourite cards of the game. I'm not sitting here saying it's an amazing card, okay, but reason I like Hydra is you play this on curve on turn 4. They have to deal with it. They don't deal with this card. It just gets out of control. I've played several games where it ends up getting to an 8-9 or even to a 10-11. And it's just like, how do I deal with this now? Like, I mean, if they're playing purple and they end up using its Spirit Away on it or anything like that, I'm fine. I'm like, fine. You just use your Spirit Away on a 4-drop Hydra. I still have IQ and Short Stag and other big minions to come out, and it's fine. Hydra is not hugely underrated because it's not the best card, or it's not, I don't think, an amazing auto-include green card, but I personally enjoy playing it. But that doesn't feature in our 10. That's like a bonus because, you know, what is the gift that keeps on giving? And it's Christmas time. But moving on to Orange, where we do actually have some underrated cards that are on our top 10 list, or our 10 underrated list, is Dark Passenger. Now, Dark Passenger is... It blows my mind that people don't play this more in orange decks. Give one of your minions Deadly and Demise, draw a card. Now, why this is so good is because also in orange, we can look at something like Eager Recruit, which gives you a 1/1 Pass Recruit in your hand. So you can basically turn a 1/1 into Deadly, meaning that if it comes up against an IQ, well, it just kills it. It just kills the IQ. Okay, it kills Armageddon Angel, it kills Sapo. It can remove anything. The 1/1 can remove anything. Even better, you draw a card off it dying. It's crazy. It's so good. I always include this card in my orange lists. I never regret including it. Like I said, this is a personal, my 10 underrated cards. I think this card doesn't get played enough. I don't think this card gets enough attention. I think it's super, super good. I think it's one that, maybe it's because it's a spell and some people are like, no, I prefer playing minions over spells. I don't know, but it's a card that I think should definitely get more attention in Mythgard. Moving on to number 6, I believe. I think it's 5 or 6. I can't remember now. I could let you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Moving on. 6. Moving on to number 6 now is a card I don't actually own. A card I've never played. But this, again, is coming from Semper, and apparently he gets Tune Star's backing. I've not actually spoken to Tune Star about this, and that is Lamp of Wonders. So, it's an artifact that comes out with no durability. It said it has 3 charges. You spend 1 charge to get Divination of 4, and if at 0 charges, draw a card, then banish this and shuffle a cost copy into your opponent's deck. Okay, a 2 cost copy. So, basically, it's... I feel like people drop this, and I've definitely not played it for this thing here. Like, oh, I don't want to put this into my opponent's deck. This is really big. Orange already has really good card draw, okay? Divination is such a slept-on keyword. Divination in this game is so good, guys. It's insane. Having the ability to set up mid to late game. I go, well, I'm drawing this card next. I'm drawing this card next. You play with Lamp of Wonders. You then play Perry. You know you're getting exactly 1 card that you definitely want before you're putting another random card. That is huge. Then having the ability to draw a card. So you even pop it to get rid of Divination to then know exactly what card you're drawing. This is giving you, for lack of a better term, information or choice of your cards for 3 turns and then drawing you a card. It's a 2 mana, 1 gem. I am going to put my hands up and say I slept on this card too much. I've not played this card at all. I don't even own it. I've not crafted it because I'm like, I don't know. Lamp of Wonders. Who plays Lamp of Wonders? Semper has been playing it against me recently. And I can fully vouch this card is very good. Very, very good. And it is going to be the next Orange Mythic I craft. It is way too slept on. And I am guilty of sleeping on this card, guys. It's very good if you're playing Orange. It adds to card draw. It adds to consistency. It's super cheap. Yeah, I'm going to include it in my orange decks from now on. Maybe not every single one, but most orange decks, I can imagine I'm going to be including it in. Now, moving on to some purple, which wraps up because we only have 3 cards left to get through. So, purple, purple, purple. Now, the first one here is a card that I think is nuts. Semper thinks is nuts. We've had a couple of people in chat say that they think it's a little bit overrated, and I'm going to try and break down why this card is fucking nuts, okay? And that is Mindfreak. The new Mindfreak is just like, it blows my mind. I mean, it freaks my mind, guys. Way, see what I've done there. Now, Mindfreak is a 1-cost purple spell. Only costs 1 gem as well. Obviously, it's 1 cost. Look at an enemy player's hand and choose a card. It becomes ephemeral, and its mana cost is increased by 3. Okay, so here's why this is nuts. 1, you get information. Insane information. It's not a look at the hand and then it goes again. It is the hand is fully displayed. You play this turn 1, which is when Semper often plays this, then it's fully displayed. He has all the information of seeing what I have in my hand. The only information he doesn't have is what I draw into. But chances are he can see turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, maybe even turn 4 play. He can see what I'm burning. He can see all that stuff. Okay, obviously you can see what you're burning anyway, but he can see what's gone from my hand and what's still in my hand. That is huge. Information in any card game is massive. Then giving a minion 3 mana, and the big thing here is making it ephemeral, because too many times, like as I've said many times, I love green. I've had a short stag in my hand at opening turn, and I'm thinking, oh, I'll burn this soon. I'll get it back later on. Semper's played this, and he's made the short stag, or IQ even, a 10 mana card. And I'm thinking, okay, I can ramp to that. But now it comes to the point where I'm like, I need these green gems, and I don't want to burn anything else because I'm playing to curve. If I burn that short stag or that IQ, it's gone from the game because it has ephemeral. It's just gone. I don't get to draw it later on. It's gone. It's just like, wow. Other times he's played it, when he's played it turn 1 and he's put the 3 mana increase on Collarbok. Well, now I don't have a Collarbok to play. Now I don't have a turn 1 play. So I'm already effectively playing behind. I don't have my ramp going for my green deck, which is kind of irritating. And he has the information on my hand. It's almost like there's no negative to playing this card at any point. Okay? You could argue, now there is a slight argument to say you're top decking for some reason. You're like turn 7, you're top decking, and you pull Mindfreak. Okay, yes, that's infuriating. But that's no different to top decking, and then you end up pulling Temptation, and there's no targets for that. Or you end up pulling any other spell, Detain and Deport, in the game that you can't play a minion. There's always an argument for that, but you can't have that argument based around it, because that's the case for any spell. Any spell that doesn't create a minion, that's going to be the case for. I would say 95% of the time, there is never a bad time to play this card. This card is so good, and I'm standing by it. And I don't know, it's an iffy one to put on the underrated list because it's only recently been tweaked. So maybe in a week's time we see everyone playing it. But I'm telling you now, someone who plays against Semper a lot for deck teching, who plays this card in every purple deck he plays now, this card is infuriating to play against. I'm telling you now, it has shut me down so many times. Every time he's played it, he's had a good target off it, and it has completely changed my game plan. And that is exactly what he's trying to do in a control deck. It's bonkers. I'm just leaving it at that. It is fecking bonkers. Okay. Moving on to a card that, again, Semper plays all the time. I'm sorry I'm using Semper a lot here. I don't play a lot of purple, so I'm using him because I played against these lot, and these are why I think they're underrated. And I never see anyone else play this card. Peach of Life, guys. This card is so good. It's almost a wonder drug for purple. It's not quite as good as Wonder Drug, but it is cheaper than Wonder Drug anyway. So, gain 1 life for each minion in your boneyard. If there are 7 or more minions in your boneyard, draw a card. Well, the draw a card is a bonus, okay? That normally goes off anyway. But think about it, guys. So many decks are minion heavy. Very rarely, okay, maybe not in an enchantment deck, but very rarely will you be playing more than 8 spells, really? Maybe if you're playing green, you might be sleep or like Bald Mountain and the Bella package. Maybe be creeping up a little bit higher. I would say most decks on an average probably play between 5 to 8 spells. So you have a majority, like a heavy majority of your deck is minions. Peach of Life is a 2-cost card with only 1 purple gem that can basically get you back 8 life easy and draw a card. This can save you games. This card has saved Semper so many times. And I've seen it, honestly, I've seen it once outside of my matches with Semper. And this card it's just so good. It's too good to not be played. I've started dabbling in purple. I started off playing the game when I played green purple and I really liked purple. And I kind of dropped off purple, but I've started playing purple again now, just play around with it. And this is in my deck, and I have no issue playing it in my deck. I never see it, and I don't get why I see it. Maybe people aren't drawing into it. Maybe it is out there. People aren't drawing into it. But I'm telling you now, guys, this is one of the best purple spells in the game. It's completely different to Mindfreak. You can't say it's better or it's worse than Mindfreak because they're completely different cards. This one saves you. Mindfreak can just screw over your opponent and really mess up their curve play or their game plan. But Peach of Life, don't sleep on it, guys. It's too good. Again, I've got to say, in my opinion. Okay, now moving on to... we've got 2 cards left to look at. 2 cards left, and they are both purple. The next card we are looking at, guys, and this, again, I'm going to shout out to him, is from Semper, because he is my man for purple, is Nine-Tail Vixen. Now, I've not played this card. I'm going to be completely honest, I've not played this card. He's played against me a few times, and I've watched games of him where he's played it, and it's been very, very good. So it's a 4-mana, 2-gem, Mythic, which comes out at 2-5, which you think, oh, 2-5 is not great. Well, wait a minute. Firstly, it's Lurker, so it can't be damaged unless you choose to trade in something. But it also has Deadly, so it can... Anything it does damage to, it just straight up kills. Add this into the passive ability is at the start of your turn, return the bottom spirit minion from your boneyard to your hand. It doesn't give it ephemeral, it just puts back in your hand. If we look at what can be in our graveyard, well, first off, we have a really good 1-drop here, Racer in Shadows, which you use to trade in the stuff to spot removal. It doesn't get banished because it's in the graveyard. Well, this is a spirit, so this comes back to your hand. If you play these, remember it's not if it's the bottom card, it is the bottom spirit minion. So if there's a spirit in your graveyard, there's only 1 spirit in your graveyard, it comes back. So Race for the Shadows come back. Any one of the Shinobis come back. Spirit Ninja. Oh, sorry, no, this one doesn't come. This is a Ninja. But this is Spirit Ninja over here. So Shinobi of Smoke, sorry, comes back, not all of them. Okay, if you're playing Tengu, Spirit, it comes back. Okay, there are quite a few Spirit cards in the purple package, like again, Thriving Shade. Okay, oh, I don't know why it keeps doing that. It keeps jumping down miles. There are quite a few Spirit minions in the package here. Like even something like Baku. All right, this is very late game, but again, it's a Spirit. And Nine-Tail Vixen just goes, yeah, let's come back to your hand. The start of your turn, this comes back to your hand. If this is on the board, they come back to your hand. And that's kind of like crazy. It just keeps the cards come back to your hand. This card is hardly ever played. I can't remember the last time I saw it outside of a game with Semper. And I will agree with him that when it's not... I wouldn't say it's as underrated as something like Mindfreak or Peach of Life when it comes to purple. Or the next card we're going to speak about, which I think is honestly one of the most underrated cards in the game. But I will say it's definitely slept on. And I don't get why it's so slept on. Because if you're not playing any spirits, fine. Don't play it. But if you've got a few spirits in your deck, if you especially got Race from the Shadows in your deck, if you're running 2 or 3 Race from the Shadows, maybe running 2 Shinobi of Smoke, already that's 5 cards. That's 12.5% of your deck that you could get back without ephemeral. Just get back. It doesn't give them ephemeral. They just come back. So Race from the Shadows, trade, goes in there, comes back. Race from the Shadows, trade, goes there, comes back. Race from the Shadows, trade, goes there, comes back. It's just crazy. It's just crazy, okay? Now, the final card of our list, I will fully agree with Semper here, and I will agree, and I will fight anyone who disagrees with us or me, and that is Celestial Dragon, okay? This card is so good. Now, people clearly read the Demise ability. Add a Ring of Eternity item to your opponent's hand. A Ring of Eternity, give a friendly minion. So basically you're saying the opponent can give a 1/1 immortal to any minion, okay? That's That's annoying. It's just not that. That is straight up annoying. Okay? But it doesn't mean you shouldn't play this card. This card has to have a downfall because for 6 mana, guys, on turn 6, you can get an 8/8 with Agile out. Okay? That's mind-blowing. Absolutely bonkers. Okay, so this card needs a downside. Ring of Eternity isn't really that bad because there are quite a few ways of dealing with, especially in purple. You can Spirit Away a minion. It doesn't destroy a minion, remember, but you can Spirit Away a minion that's immortal. It's done. It's dealt with. If you're playing purple orange, which I've seen some play a lot recently, obviously just Seal of Exile. Okay, I'm not saying that there is always ways of dealing with immortal cards, but you don't play Celestial Dragon unless you feel like you're confident you're getting close to lethal or at lethal. Dealing with an 8/8 in one turn is extremely hard. For example, you're not going to play this opposite a Short Stag. You're not going to do that. Okay? Yeah, they could. If they're playing green, they could drop like an IQ next to it, and you're like, okay, great, I'm screwed. They're going to get a 1/1 immortal, probably put on the IQ, whatever. But realistically, this card is nuts. It is so good. I've lost too many games to Semper when he's played this card. I've hardly ever played it outside of playing Semper, and I never get why. I've watched games Semper when he competed in the Gem Wars competition hosted by 98.3, which is where you can only play monocolour decks. I watched a lot of his games when I was out of games or in between games, and this card won him so many games. It is so good. It is such a good card. I honestly think it is way too slept on. If you're playing purple, I ought to include this in any purple deck I'm playing. I'm going to say now. Maybe not a tricolour purple because it is free purple gems. However, any duo colour purple decks I'm playing, I'm definitely including this card into the list. I think it's nuts. I think it's super good. I know a lot of other people think it's crazy good. Do not be put off by the demise ability, okay? Just play it when you're going for lethal. They're on 14 health, okay? You've got a Terragon on the board, drop Celestial Dragon. You now have a 1/1 overrun Pearl in your hand as well. Maybe with the overrun and the 8 damage with Agile to the face, you could get lethal, or you can at least set up for lethal. And it's just crazy. It's such a good card. So yeah, that's it, guys. That is going to wrap up my 10 underrated cards. Technically 11 because I threw a little cheeky Hydra in there. But anyway, that is it, guys. Honestly, if you disagree with any of my choices, then let me know in the comments. You cannot offend Woody. I promise you now, you cannot offend Woody. Just go, Woody, you're wrong, mate. You are wrong. You missed this card here. Or, like, that card isn't underrated. I think that card is shite. Just say it. I like having discussions with the Mythgard community. I like chatting to the community. And I like kind of just sharing our ideas. And this is a complete personal opinion. Like I said, I mentioned Semper a lot because it was a personal opinion. I chatted to Semper. We cut a few cards out of here because I was like, nah, maybe you're right, actually. Maybe I'm being biased because it's just cards I've played. And then actually having more of a rounded opinion on it with Semper's knowledge of purple and yellow that I don't play tons of. It kind of balanced it out a little bit. But anyway, thank you for watching the video, guys. If you liked it, then hey, give it a little like, and that way I know you like this video. Keep an eye out for the 10 overrated cards. Again, my personal opinion of 10 overrated cards in Mythgard, which should go live pretty close to when this video goes live. But anyway, until next time, guys, thank you for stopping by. Have a great day, morning, evening, whatever it is, where you guys are. And until I catch you next time, goodbye.